Yaparella is back in the house, y'all, and I am so sorry, but if you guys did not check out my pinned comment from my last Love Island video, expect a whole lot more Love Island videos. I'm hooked now. I'm officially hooked. I am so sorry. I know that a lot of you guys are like, wait, I didn't sign up for this content. Although a lot of you guys do like it, which makes me excited because I'm like, y'all, the way that I only know my homegirl Cynthia, my homegirl Liz, they're the only two people in my life that are like wrapped around Love Island. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta talk to more people about this because I'm so fully invested in people's stories now and everything that is going on right now. Y'all, as you guys could see from the title, it is being alleged, okay, and let me say that Bryan was stepping out on Amaya, which I do have to say this before even jumping into this. When people come out with this much fame, obviously they went into this house as normal people. They came out literally celebrities, like massive followings. People are going crazy at the airports and in the streets and at stores seeing them. Like I'm seeing so many different like fan spottings. Like they're like the Kardashians right now. They're so famous. I think that people, and it's unfortunate, okay? I think that people have to understand that rumors are going to come out, and 9 times out of 10, they're probably not even true, but people do want, you know, their little 15 seconds of fame and a viral TikTok, a viral tweet, a viral YouTube video, whatever the case may be. So I'm letting y'all know from the jump of this, everything is alleged, and this is just a rumor. We are going to be going over some receipts and some things that were, you know, being put out there, but I don't know if they're true. Okay, I'm just go ahead and throw that out there. This girl that we're going to be talking about who did this little story time about Bryan cheating on Amaya, she put out a little story, but then she deleted it, but I do have the full recording of it. But then she did post pictures with them, okay? And I do have to say this before jumping into anything, okay? I have now become such a skeptical person on the internet, and you guys know this. Like, I need to see physical proof. Like, if you're saying Bryan's cheating, I need to see him making out or kissing or like rubbing up or freak dancing, something like that, up on somebody else before I fully believe it, okay? I'm letting you guys know that before jumping into this because I don't know, y'all. I just feel like a lot of people this day and age really do lie about a lot of things. Like, I hate to call this girl a liar, you know what I'm saying? But I just need to see a little bit more. You know what I mean? Also, I have to say this too. We don't even really know if Amaya and Bryan are like fully in a relationship. Like maybe they're just in the talking phases right now. And hey, maybe they said to each other, like, let's go ahead and go out here and let's date other people still. Like, let's go ahead and, you know, we're in the beginning phases of getting to know each other still because let's go ahead and keep it real. While they were on the island, obviously it was very fast. Like what they were together for probably 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a little bit more, but still it was very, very fast. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're still exploring, but they're still openly dating other people too. We don't know these types of things. Also, I gotta throw this out there too. Not that I would ever, okay? Not that I would ever be in an open relationship. We do also have to factor in this day and age, like, hey, maybe some people are in an open relationship too. You know what I'm saying? Before jumping into the whole Amaya, Papaya, and Bryan drama, I do have one thing to address, y'all. This is what's so crazy. And look, I will be that person. Look, I hate, and I've said this before, specifically when it comes down to whenever I make a video about Jeffree Star, because my opinions are always changing depending upon the topic. I'm always going to be that person that I do, you know, my opinion changes, okay? When new things come out, new videos come out, like different things come out, obviously my opinion is going to change, okay? Obviously, you guys know that I've been pretty opinionated about Huda. I need to address this really fast because yes, I know there's so many Huda stands out there, and y'all, a few of you guys were letting me have it in the comments, and that's totally fine. To each their own. You guys are fully allowed your opinions, and I love it. Y'all know I love an opinionated person, so I love when you guys are like, you know, let me have it in the comments. I want to let you know something, okay? Before going into this whole rabbit hole of Huda, I'm not saying that I dislike her. I do feel like she was literally the most authentic person on that show. Second in line, I do have to say, was Amaya. But them two, to me, in my personal opinion, I feel like they were the most real. You know what I mean? They were the most authentically them. So obviously, us as viewers, we do get to critique them a little bit more because we see more of their real personality. I'm keeping it so real with you guys. If you guys have not known me for a long time, I am really trying to make a change and grow up as a human being. And y'all, this is something that I'm going to definitely, it's in my notepad already. Whenever the hell I get back into my podcast, I'm going to be talking about this. I am trying to make a change within me as a person, and this is going to be an ever like growing thing. I may have some slip ups, you know what I'm saying? Huda really reminds me of me when I was younger, okay? And maybe I didn't do a good job of articulating that, but let me go a little bit more into depth of that. And I've said this numerous amounts of times. If you guys watch my videos, y'all know when I was younger, and still even now, every now and then I will have a slip up. Do not get me wrong. I am not perfect. I used to be that person that would just pop the fuck off. Like if I was mad at somebody, if somebody hurt my feelings and I just couldn't say, I couldn't be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, that really hurt my feelings. it's so hard for me to do that. Now it's hard for me to do it, but I could do it, through text. Like, I find that to be a little bit easier to just be like, hey, like, that really hurt my feelings. But to sit there eye to eye to a person and be like, hey, that really hurt my feelings, for some reason it's very hard for me to be vulnerable like that. So I used to snap on people. Okay. And when I say snap, I mean kind of like hood, like pop off, call people names, like bitch, blah, 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 screw you, this and that. You know what I'm saying? So when I see her low key, it kind of like triggers me because I'm like, damn, like, that's how I used to be. And honestly, I guess maybe I am triggered by that because I see me in her and her actions, you know what I'm saying? And the old me, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I shouldn't even say the old me, because every now and then, hey, I may slip up and I may pop off on a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Rather than communicate my feelings, because obviously old habits die hard. Let's go ahead and keep it real. So that's why sometimes when I see Hood, I'm like, I'm a little bit triggered by her. And I wish that she would, like, change that. Also, what I was triggered about is because every time that I would pop off on somebody, I knew in my heart, I knew in my mind that was wrong. The next day, maybe even a week later, however long it took, like, I knew it was wrong. And I just feel like so many people on the internet are justifying her actions and the way that she was talking to Chris, the way that she was talking to Jeremiah. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like, we can't sit here and justify this type of behavior because, yes, even though I was a person, and like I said, every now and then still am that person who pops off like that, it's not acceptable behavior. It's not okay. And that's where I was just kind of like, seeing this little side of Hood, like, really bothered me, you know what I'm saying? And seeing so many people, millions of people, condone it, I'm like, no, this is just not okay. You know what I'm saying? I do have to say this. After learning more information, okay, about this whole heart rate challenge thing, and it's so crazy that one of y'all tagged me in this, and I was like, I literally already saw it. Chris went on to the Vile Files, I believe, podcast, and he said, and he confirmed other people as well said this too, that apparently before going on to the heart rate challenge, which I talked about in my last video with Huda specifically and Shelly, apparently they had an agreement before going into this that nothing was off limits. Like, everybody said, hey, we're cool with everything. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, my opinion changes. You know what I'm saying? Because Shelly obviously was calling out Huda and saying like, oh, she's not a girl's girl. She never should have done this. But then hearing that everybody said, hey, you're open to do whatever. It's a challenge. That completely changes my opinion, because now I know that Shelly knew she could have spoke up then. Like, she knew that they were going to be having this challenge. They had a talk before, and she could have said, hey, like, don't be freaking up on my man like that. Like, I actually really do like him. This is off limits. Don't do that. And she didn't say anything. Then low-key, I feel like Huda felt like she had the green pass to go ahead and do whatever she needed to do. You know what I'm saying? So that does change my opinion on the matter. And luckily, I did end up seeing that clip, because I was like, oh, okay, low-key. Because I did say in that video, I was like, damn, I really do feel like Huda was in that wrong in that situation. She didn't need to freak up on Ace like that. You know what I'm saying? To pull him to the floor and, like, be so provocative with him. You know what I'm saying? So it changes my opinion knowing that they had the opportunity to say, hey, like, don't do anything too outlandish. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have very easily spoke up. Anyways, I just wanted to clarify that before, jumping into this, because obviously as I see different things, my opinion will change. And as soon as I saw Chris and other members from the house say like, oh no, like, we talked about this before, like, everyone said, nope, do whatever you want. Like, you're free to do this and that. Then in that case, I'm like, oh, okay, my opinion about Huda within that specific situation really did change. Anyways, y'all, just wanted to address that right there. But let's go ahead and get into this story. I'm going to play this girl's clip. I'm going to have to speed it up. It is a little bit lengthy, to where this girl is saying that she is like, going to a club or whatever. And I guess Bryan was there. And this is where I guess like she ended up seeing Bryan too, like go into a room with a girl. And this is where she alleges that he was cheating on her, which, by the way, once again, we don't even know if they're in a real relationship. It could have just been for the show. They could just be talking right now. They could be open. We really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I do have to say this though. I know that this girl is young, but looking at her mannerisms, like her smiling, it's kind of like, I don't know. It seems a little attention seeking. I'm so sorry. I do have to say that. I'm like, it does seem a little bit, like maybe she is looking for that little viral TikTok. And, also I do have to say this now. I guess she started getting so much heat on TikTok that she actually privated her account, which I think is just so damn crazy. Oh, also too, I guess she was saying that like people were threatening her at college and stuff. So I was like, damn girl, I don't know if this is true, but check it out.
Hey guys, so my friends were saying I should do a story time on my experience meeting half the Love Island cast and going to their after party. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, Bryan is cheating on Amaya Papaya. Either that or they're not together anymore, but it was 2 days after the finale aired. And he was with another girl the whole night. The first thing we asked him was like, "Where's Amaya Papaya?" when we saw him at the club, and he was like, "She's at home sleeping," and we're like, "Oh, like we really wanted to meet her." But at the after party, he was with the girl the entire night, and at like 5 a.m. at this point, we're still there, like one of the only ones there, and he's bringing another girl back to one of the rooms. He asked Chris, he was like, "Is there any like empty rooms or whatever?" And he goes there with another girl, and then Julie and I are just sitting on the couch together listening to the debrief between Chris and Zach, and they're like, "Yeah, if I were him, I wouldn't like move that way, like the switch up is like basically kind of crazy. It's been like 2 days and he's already with another girl." I'm like, do I send a "hey girly" text to Amaya? Like, what?
I'm so sorry, but I just have to keep it real. I really have become that person. Like I said before, I need to see proof. Like, yes, she took this picture right here. You guys can see that she took a picture with him, but that picture doesn't prove anything. Also, I gotta say this too. If this is not true, you know what I'm saying? Which I really do believe that in time, obviously, the truth always comes to light. So say, for example, he really did like hook up with another girl. Like maybe that girl will speak out and say, "Hey, I was at the party," or whatever. You know what I mean? And then she has like pictures of him or whatever. Then, hey, maybe it is true. But I do have to say this. If this is not true, this scares people from wanting to take pictures with people. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked at this and I was like, damn, if I was a celebrity and like, you know, rumors were being spread like this, I would almost be skeptical to take pictures with people, because then they could make up a story and be like, "Oh, here's the proof," and people start to believe it. Just because you have a picture with a person is, oh, it's true. It's like, no, they were outside of a club and they took a picture. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was, you know, a little concerning if it's not true, but I gotta keep it real. I don't think it's true. I don't know, as of right now. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading within this video, okay? Just letting you guys know, because I do have to read some comments that Bryan himself did like. A lot of people were saying that he should come forward and like address these whole rumors. People were saying on TikTok that he did address the rumors. However, I haven't seen any clip from him saying it from his mouth, but I do have these screenshots of him liking some of these comments. So I do want to go ahead and post that. Oh, by the way, this is another comment right here that this girl had posted. Wait, no, I just seen the vid you deleted. What do you mean Bryan is cheating on Amaya? And then she said, "People were threatening me." That's what she had posted right there, which I gotta say, honestly, y'all, if she was gonna come out with a story like that, I'd be like, "Girl, you better have some proof." Also, I gotta say that too. Like, say for example, if I was ever gonna let you guys in on some like really juicy stuff, say for example, I went out and I'm like, "Oh my God, Mariah Carey was over here, and oh my gosh, she was like hooking up with freaking, I don't know, some other person." Like, if I'm gonna give a story time, I need the proof. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and read some of these comments right here. Okay, these are not liked by him. So everyone started flooding Bryan's TikTok account saying, "So Bryan, you're in trouble." A girl commented right here and said she lied and took down the video. She wanted clout. Hope he sues her. Which I don't know if like you could sue somebody for that, because obviously you would have to prove that you didn't cheat. And how would you prove that you didn't cheat? You know what I'm saying? Because let's go and keep it real here. In a court of law, you could have went to the restroom and there could have been somebody in there. How would we know? You know what I mean? But obviously. Anyways, this comment is liked by him. It's very long, okay? But obviously, since he liked it, that means that he approves of the message. Some of y'all need to seriously calm down and stop believing everything on the internet. Y'all are getting at him and asking for Amaya like she has to be in all of his videos. They both have their separate lives apart from being on Love Island. They have families, friends, work, etc. to attend to after being out of the US for about 2 months. They don't always have to be glued to the hip to show that they're happy. And for the rumor, from what I've collected, there's no legitimate proof of Bryan doing stuff with somebody else, just pictures of him and other Casa boys taking pictures with fans, and the video of the girl who came out with this took the video down. You all are so quick to assume y'all weren't even there. People are always going to come for other people, especially people who are starting to gain a lot of fame and attention just so they can get their 15 seconds of fame. It's seriously weird how most of y'all are more focused on their lives, what they do, and who they hang out with, rather than focusing on the problems that are currently happening in this place of a country. If it's addressed, then it's addressed, and if not, that's because there is nothing to address. Let these people breathe in peace for a goddamn minute. Shaking my head, and he did like that. I do have to say, I do totally agree on that. Like, so many people, y'all know I mentioned this quite a lot on my channel. So many people just hear a story and they automatically believe it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, let's see the proof before we start believing, because people, it's so crazy. Like, we have this whole mentality of like, oh, we have to believe all these stories, and it's like, Y'all, unfortunately, there are liars out there. Unfortunately, there are clout chasers out there. And unfortunately, there are people who are looking for a viral TikTok, for a viral moment to have their story put out there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care if they lie. I'm not saying this girl is lying. I'm just saying she doesn't have no proof, obviously. But it's just kind of like, damn, we do got to be a little bit cautious here because, damn, his comments are flooded of this, okay? Another one right here. Some of you are too damn gullible to believe that rumor. There will always be some sort of allegations after the show when you're in a couple. Even the top 3 couples last year were getting all sorts of allegations. Even till this day, they still do. And that was also liked by Bryan right there. I do have to say this, okay? There's several factors that go into this, as I did mention in the beginning. We don't know if they're officially dating. We don't know if they're, obviously committed to one another. We don't know if they are committed but in an open relationship. Like, we just don't know all of these things. That's first. Second of all, to just believe somebody who took a picture with him, outside, it's crazy to me. I am so sorry, and y'all can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm just one of those people. I need to see physical proof in order for me to actually believe a story. You know what I'm saying? Because when you just don't have that, like, people can just lie about it. And I don't know. I have to say this though, okay, in my personal opinion, if they were committed and he cheated on Amaya, then that makes me sad because I really do like Amaya. I feel like she is so entertaining. I feel like she's so authentic. I feel like she's so just like herself. I saw this compilation of like all of her like silly moments at the villa, and I was like, low key, I think she's so unintentionally funny. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like her Dominican side, to where she just is just kind of off the walls, and I literally live for it. And I don't know, I really, really do like her. So I obviously am skeptical about these rumors, but if they did turn out to be true, I would kind of be sad, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, all of us, well, not all of us, but most of us are hopeless romantics at heart, and we would, hope to see this cute little, love story play out and actually be true. Do you know what I mean? Which this day and age is a little bit rare. You know what I mean? Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.